Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the support as always. Today this is gonna be a little bit of a tip Tuesday, right? I've got 3 tips for you today. We've got two kind of tactical tips, one fairly in-depth tip, which we'll cover right here. We've got a quality of life thing that I learned that I did not know, and I imagine a lot of you did know, but that'll be second. And then we're gonna have one more kind of a tactical tip for you at the end, something you should think about doing as much as possible. Also a pretty funny result out of it. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is circling. Now, circling seems like a fairly straightforward event. You just circle the bad guy and you shoot him, right? Because you're trying to get to side armor and rear armor, and that's a good thing. But there's some things to think about while you're doing it. And very interestingly, I turned everything purple, except on the mini-map it's red. So we've got another kind of replay bug here. That's a bit of a bummer. All right, here we go. There's a 100-01 coming in. I'm in my Steyr WT. Not exactly known as the circling machine. So when you think about circling, you think about a really fast tank going around a slow tank. And that's the general idea of it. But even if you're slow, as long as the other guy's a little bit slower, and even if you're really the same speed, there are some things you can do to kind of make the circle event work better. So I see this 100-01 coming, and we're going to go ahead out here. He's looking the other way, so I'm going to come in and try to sneak a shot into that. Oop, oh boy. I'll just take a stab at him. All right, he's missed. Thing number 1 in circling. Try to get in and close on them without taking a hit. So you want to close that distance when you can. Now, he's just fired. He has a long reload. I am really not going to get away from him right here. I came around this corner and he just happened to be hey diddle diddle right up the middle. I'm going to have to take this guy on, right? I can try to back out, try to shoot weak spots, but he's going to pretty well pummel me. So a lot of times when I hit these kinds of situations, I just go for the circle jerk. I'm just trying to get around them, spoil their shot, maybe get a buddy come in and help, last as long as I can, and maybe we end up beating this guy. All right, if I could get away, if I had friends to fall back to, I would. I just didn't see that happening here. And I knew he was a pretty slow tank. And while I'm not exactly zippy, I think I can probably get in on him. All right, so don't let them ram you. I got a little too close. That's another thing. You want to avoid them ramming you because he's going to try to shave off hit points. And typically when you're circling, a lot of times you're in a lighter tank. So don't let the big behemoth clip you or ram you. So you want to try to get some distance, enough standoff you can get around him, but don't get clipped. And I end up, I think, getting a few hit points shaved off here. You also notice that I was attempting to shoot him in the track as I closed, but bailed out of that because I would have had to stop. I wasn't reloaded quite in time. So pinning them down before you start circling is also a good idea. I just wasn't able to do that. So he shaves a few hit points off of me, not too bad, that's all right, I lost 53, and now I'm into his side armor. A couple things going on here. Now, auto-aim is really nice for this event, but it's not always great. It's going to depend on the height of your tank, the height of his tank, and where the center of mass is. Because he is so tall, I am pretty well aiming into his side armor, although it is a little bit too close for comfort to the turret and the ring and everything else, and there's kind of angles going on right here, but this looks pretty nice. On some other tanks that might be a different height, you could, no kidding, be aiming into a rounded turret or some other things, so you might want to be careful with that, but I was pretty comfortable with the auto aim on this. Auto aim, like I said, will let you down in some cases here because they're going to be shooting at something that's a weird angle, and it's usually something in regards to the turret and the way it's connected to the tank and that kind of stuff. But in this nice big flat-sided tank, I'm not going to have a lot of trouble penning him with my auto aim. So we do that. If you are being circled, do what he did. Back up against something or go forward against something, some terrain. In this case, the rail car here, a wall. The edge of the map is a fantastic thing to use because it's magical and nobody can go outside the edge of the map. He is trying to stop me from circling, so that's good. Whether that was by accident or on purpose, it seems to be on purpose. That is a good tactic for the anti-circle jerk right there. All right, now this is very important. He's on a reload. He has a very big gun, and I don't want him to hit me. I also know that he's looked down. He has a kind of bad angle. So really, it's the turret he's probably going to hit. I don't even know if he can get the gun low enough to hit my hole because I sit so low. So what I'm going to try to do here is avoid him shooting my turret. Now watch what happens here. As you move back and forth along his side, and you know his turret is slow, and this is very effective against big, slow turrets like the 100-01 has, if you kind of herky-jerky back and forth, you can throw his aim off and make him miss. And that allows you to get another shot in and to continue the circle jerk. So we get that. Now he makes a mistake right there. Almost lets me get around him. Almost lets me get around him, but he's doing a nice job. He's going to try to scrape me off by backing up on this rail car right here. So I'm going to have to change what I'm doing. I'll back out. That's fine. Get a little separation. A little bit of a panic and a hasty shot. I just take the shot. I really expected to get nuked by an HE round there, and I just hoped it might pin. It was clearly not going to. But I backed up, got enough separation that I could then start working around him, and we'll start the circle again. He misses again. Now I've got a friend. We put a shot to his side. You know, watch the back and forth thing here. All right. I know he's on a reload, and I'm mentally trying to time this. I know his turret is right on me. His gun is right on me, and that's fine. I'm not going to do any back and forth. Right now, I'm just sticking with him so I can stay stuck to the side of his tank so I'm ready to shoot. I don't want to go herky-jerky back and forth, because if I go backwards, he's going to get momentum away, and it's going to take me a while to catch up. So I'm kind of mentally going, this is about a 9-10 second gun this guy has. So we'll start with the defensive maneuvers here real soon. Whoop. There you go. Now see how far back I almost separated from him right there. That's what I was worried about. So I'll go ahead and do that little herky-jerky, get away from him. All right. He has stopped. And I don't know if he's tracked. It's hard. He is tracked. So somebody's done me a solid, and he's tracked, and they've tracked him. So what I'm going to do now is, another thing you want to do in circling is outrun the turret. I'm fast enough to outrun his turret. I'm probably not fast enough to outrun his whole end turret. And remember, when you're being circled and you can't back up against something, or you're trying to bring your gun online, turn the hole and the turret at the same time, and you're going to get the combined turning of the turret and the hole rate. Okay, the turret and the hole rate will be added together, and that's how fast your gun will be moving around. Try not to go forward and turn or backwards and turn. Try to turn in place, but sometimes you may want the forward or backward turn in order to create some separation or to get yourself backed up against something. So it's not always bad to move forward or backwards and turn, but generally, if you're trying to get that gun on as fast as possible, turn your hole and your turret at the same time, and we get this guy to miss. So we just go around. I know his back armor. All right, so I was coming up to a reload. I know his back armor is weak. I stopped there to get the shot, and now I'm going to start moving around again. All right, so he moves his turret the other way. It looks like he wants to go shoot the Panther. I really have a choice to either back up or come around the side. I'm just going to come around the side because moving forward is faster. It would have been a much slower move around the back. And we've got these guys down here, so we'll put another shot into him. And we end up killing off the 100-01, circling him in a stare WT right there. So pretty much textbook. He did some good things defensively to try to stop me. Once I got some friends around, we were able to really start handling them. And check out the bug on the replays. Some of them are purple and some of them are red. That's bizarre. I have never seen that in all my years of doing replays. That's the first time for that. So there you go. Some things to think about while you're circling somebody. Try to stay out of the arc of their gun. If they get their gun on, do a little herky-jerky. Think about timing on their shots and when they might be ready to shoot, and then keep trying to get around to that weak armor right there. That will help you do the old circle. All right, coming up is a quality of life thing I did not know. Maybe you did. All right, guys, I had to go into a battle right here to show this to you. There's some things I didn't know, actually, in all the years I've been playing this game. Some quality of life stuff. So if you hit tab, you can move your mouse around on the screen. Sorry, not tab, control. Did you know that you can actually block by highlighting the message here? Text and voice messages from this player will be hidden in this battle. So it doesn't put them on the naughty list. It just blocks them for the battle, and that's one way to do it, which I did not know. You can go right to the annoying person. The other one, obviously, is a right click. You've got invite to platoon, add to your friends list, and here's that block for this battle once again that I did not know, as well as disable voice messages and the standard complaints. So there you go, little quality of life thing. I'm going to get back to it because somebody just shot me. How about that, man? Isn't that cool? All right. I had no idea. It would have saved me a lot of time in muting people, in mooting people. Okay, 2801. This is the second tactical thing I said we'd talk about. You know the old adage, you never hit what you shoot at? Seems pretty straightforward. And if you watch a lot of the really great players like Skill and some of the others that stream, they'll talk a lot about taking those snapshots or aiming in at where you think guys are. I talk about taking shots on things as you're moving to something else, provided it's not a case of you don't want to be seen, because remember, you lower your camo by shooting. So there are times when you wouldn't just randomly shoot into places, low ammo, other situations like that, better targets, yada yada. But we've got a game here on Ghost Town, and it's near the end, and this is where I like to talk about grabbing up as many hit points as you can. And from here, I just try to be the Roman candle of damage, right? I want to do damage in every direction I can. I want to shoot everybody I can. I want to grab every piece of experience, every bit of damage that I can. So that means I'm going to shoot at people. I'm going to shoot early. I'm going to shoot often. Obviously, you want to take good shots, but sometimes there's no good shot, and you know, because there's so many guns on your team, that once something gets spotted, you may not be able to get up in there. So let's just look at this. I know that I didn't show you the preliminaries, but I've been shot by the 13 F3 from this corner over here on A1. So I'm supposing he's somewhere nearby. So I'm headed over there, and I want to shoot this guy. And then I'd like to find the M44, the JP. The 3002 is down south, so I already know where he is. He's not a factor. I want to try to get as many hit points off of these two guys as I can. I don't have a lot of hit points. I don't really care. I want to get in there and get some damage. So we're going to rage in here. This thing's a pretty good ram machine. Very derpy gun. I find this dude. I'm just going to come in. I'm going to auto aim. Okay, and we're coming in. We're going to get for the shot in the ram. Unfortunately, the shot bounces, but we're going to finish him with the ram. Okay, there we go. And there's the JP. Lost a lot of hit points. I do need to put controlled impact on this driver, and I think I absolutely will. I decided not to because I wanted some of the other driver skills, but I think it's so much fun ramming with this thing that I would have done a lot better with controlled impact on this tank. Now I get the JP lit, okay? I'm trying to get off this wreck because I want to get up and over there. I know the M44 is up there with him somewhere. I want to get up and over there. All right, there he is. There's the M44, right? I just put the pipper right above that ground, right towards that guy. I am headed after them. I want to get up there as fast as I can, but all that time of travel, I'll be plenty reloaded when I get there, and I just send that shell. I send it, right? I'm like, get the M44, my friend. Very small chance that you're going to hit. This is quite an RNG event, but let's talk about that for just a second, because dispersion. Don't freak out. I got it. Dispersion, a version of RNG-ish in the game. Let's talk about that, because you might go, in World of Tanks, dispersion has a vote, right? You might say, with all the RNG and the dispersion, that Twitch skills don't matter. Well, I find that to be absolutely not true, because, and here's why. Now, they might be a little less important than in the Twitchy FPS games where the shot goes directly where you're aiming. I would agree with that. But Twitch skills and the ability to do things like this are important in this game, because everything from Mr. Brain through the body to clicking the mouse, clicky, that's you. So where you aim, when you take a shot or don't take it, all the decisions, all the fine motor skills of moving the mouse around and aiming at something. And then once you click, yes, dispersion, RNG for the hit and pen and yada yada. Okay, not necessarily the hit, but the pen and the damage. Absolutely. Once you click, then the game takes it over. But that human to click interface is important. So things like this are important. And am I going to hit that shot every time? Absolutely not. Am I going to hit it sometimes? Yes. Also, it's really funny when it happens. But I will tell you that if you watch the very best players, they will do stuff like this all the time in the right situation. Moving from here up to get up there and try to get more of those hit points. I'm not going to do anything else anyway as I go down to this dip. Take the shot, and if it works, great. Oh! M44 destroyed, my friends. M44 destroyed. Absolute. One of my favorite shots in the game so far. That was awesome. Shoot early, shoot often, always look for shots, Always look for opportunities. There you have it. That's my second tactical tip. That's all I've got for today. Nice shore, and you guys have a good one. We will see ya.